I think the final thing I could say is just kind of building on what Chris said is a lot of individuals have this idea that there are insurmountable problems. I completely disagree with that point. People look at issues like the environment. People look at issues like racism. People look at issues of fear and think these are things that cannot be solved. They say, sexism will always exist. Racism will always exist. Pollution will always exist. You may call me the ultimate optimist, but I believe if we can create problems, we can solve them. And many of these problems, as you said, are created through miscommunication. And the failure, and people are scared of looking dumb or being hurt or looking stupid or out of place. And we've got to get out of the point of being scared. And I think one of the things that I was blessed with is being in a house where everyone was a musician. And so in any state that I've been put in, with any group of people, rich or poor, any ethnicity, I've always had the ability to communicate with people through, what's your favorite band? What's your favorite music? And since I listen to everything, it's been kind of easy. But the point is, if racism, or even the concept of race, is made up, which it is, I do feel that it is something that can be solved. Will it take a long time? Yes. Will it be hard? Yes. So what? You look at 1435 is really when slavery and the genocide of West Africans and indigenous Americans begin, and that slavery and genocide did not end officially, until the late 1900s, and subversively in many ways still goes on. But let's just say there's a time period of 500 years of complete racial exploitation against Native Americans, Africans, people of South America and Asia. And let's just say it stops right there. It is foolish for us to believe that a problem that has existed for 500 years will be solved in 1 or 2 years or 3 years. It may take us 500 years of positive action, but that does not mean that we shouldn't engage in that action, right? I do not believe that we are in problems that are insurmountable. The real issue is, and this I think goes from macro problems to micro problems of how we relate to each other in mass and on a one-on-one relationship as friends. When people communicate their offenses, their fears, their gripes, people can get together more easily. When people can say, listen, it was very offensive for you to say this, or this is the way this makes me feel. When people can communicate like that, I feel like things can be done. The problem with us, at least in this culture, is we do not talk about issues of race. We don't talk about issues of sexism. We don't talk about homophobia. We don't talk about religious bigotry. In America, what most people don't realize is not only did the scientific community ordain and put their blessing on racism through the eugenics movement, and a lot of people won't admit that because they like to say, science is superior to religion because, no, science has fucked up just as much as religion has. And so has religion. People may not like this, but the Protestants and the Catholic Church approved of and sanctioned slavery. They were the ones who said that people of other faiths were heathens and were inhuman. There were Catholics involved, there were Jews involved, there were Christians involved, there were Muslims involved in slave trade. None of us can look and say, that your religion is worse. They've all been messed up. No one can say that, that science has been less racist than religion. They've all been wrong. So the point is, one, we have to admit our mistakes. Whether we are Christians or atheists, whether we are poets or scientists, we have all made mistakes. Let's put everything on the table and say, what I did was wrong, what I did was wrong, what I did was wrong, let's fix it.
Well, okay, I guess going back to the theme of communication, one thing I've noticed is just the disintegration of local food system and the evolution of this, convenience comes first sort of means of shopping where everyone went for the pre-sliced Wonder Bread from the local supermarket. This whole, well, basically what I'm getting after is that I just feel that the erosion of our previous food system, where the farmers were responsible for creating artisan food, the consumers were eating wholesome, fresh, more nutritious food that nourished their bodies, etc. Looking back at that, it seems to me that how we got to where we are today was simply just a miscommunication. Eventually, after a while, everyone just sort of stopped talking to each other. Consumers no longer talk to farmers, farmers no longer talk to consumers. Eventually what we had was this, farmers producing corn. We don't eat corn. No one really needs corn at this point. And it's the rise of the local food system, the way that, this explosive growth in farmers markets and local farms, CSA farms, community gardens, etc. The power, the reason it's been so successful, the reason that we're having so much success is that people are finally talking to each other once again. CSA farmers, they're not successful solely because they produce artisan foods or heritage foods, heirloom tomatoes, whatever. It's because they have a relationship with their consumer. Community gardens, they're rebuilding communities, revitalizing them, re-empowering human relations simply because we're communicating again. And just going back to the theme of communication, it's really powerful.
We'll have our final statement by Amanda.
I wanted to retouch on the religion and also fear, and I've been thinking a long time, I think everybody does, but religion, I think in the end what it comes down to is, since we are all separated in different countries by huge amounts of land and water, survival, an explanation of why the sun comes up and why it goes down, fear, communication. They want an answer, a communication. So religion is formed, or they find the truth. And then they meet another tribe or another group of people they've never even seen before. Reaction of fear, reaction, they prepare for combat or they run away. That is it. And I think that is just kind of, yes, a miscommunication from the very beginning, through maybe even art as well. I'm not going to throw it in there, but it is a miscommunication and it's fear. And if we could all throw it on the table, like you said, and just admit our problems, that would be a miracle. And that would be incredible. And if we were able to do that, I think that everything would have already been solved already. I know I'm way too big-headed to really admit I'm wrong, but that would most likely, I agree with you, solve a lot of problems and solve a lot of fears. And that's all.
Thanks everyone for coming out. The next workshop will be, I guess, at 2 o'clock, and talking about issues of health, aging, and basically educating ourselves on health and ways to stay healthy. Thanks for listening. We really appreciate it.